I have David Evans with me here from Yellow Brick Road, South Morang. Thanks for joining, David.
Hi, most welcome to be here. Fantastic. Thanks for the invite.
No worries at all. What we want to discuss, David, was it's a really good market out there for the first home buyers, and a lot of people are taking it for granted for what is available for them. We are looking at 45 to 50,000 funds available for them to use up. And I understand that we have the first home owners grant, as well as the stamp duty concession, as well as another where they can get some benefit out of the 5% lender's mortgage insurance. Can you please walk us through that so that we can educate the viewers?
Happy to do. Actually, I did a brief video the other day on my site saying never waste a good crisis. And right now for first home buyers, this is almost a perfect storm for them because the government has never been more keen into helping people who are buying their first home. So there's basically here in Victoria, which I'm talking about, there are three schemes that are of interest. One of them is run by the federal government, which is the First Home Loan Deposit Scheme. There is also by the Victorian government, the First Homeowners Grant. And also in Victoria, there's the First Homeowners Stamp Duty Exemption or Concession, as the case may be. So let me just talk to those one at a time in order. And if you've got any questions, we can file along. So the First Homeowners Loan Deposit Scheme is a federal government scheme that basically allows first homeowners to buy a house with as little as 5% deposit.
Right.
Now in the past, first home loan buyers have always been able to do that, but the downside was that they were hit with a lender's mortgage insurance premium, which typically on a $500,000 purchase, as an example, would probably work out to be around $20,000 to $25,000. So they would have to fund that inside on top of their loan.
Right.
And sometimes that affected their serviceability.
Right.
Sometimes that affected their what we call loan to value ratio, which basically put that house out of sight for them.
Yeah.
So what the federal government has done is basically offered to guarantee that down to so that they only have actually use an LVR, loan to value ratio of 80%. So typically on that means that they qualify for the lower interest rates as well, as if the LVR was only 80%. Because typically in the past rates have been higher when you went up at 90, 95% LVR.
Right.
When you're down at 80, then the rates are better, and you'd also say being excluded from paying $20,000 to $25,000 in lender's mortgage insurance.
Okay.
Now there are some qualifications for that. It's Scott Morrison being a family man. This is only available to families de factos. It's not available to single people.
Right.
Not available for investors as such. This is owner occupied, so it is for people who are actually going to live in the property. You've got to be an Australian resident and citizen, both the parties, to be in there.
Yep.
And there are also income limits on qualifying, and the couples between them can't earn more than $200,000 a year. Okay.
Right. And I understand. I mean, there's a certain quota for this.
Oh yeah, well. There is. Okay, so yeah, at the start of the year, in the small print when the government announced this, they said that it was only going to be for the first 10,000 applicants.
Okay.
And given that in 2019 there were 110,000 first home buyers, that was a pretty small number, right? However, they have announced those 10,000 in January. They've all but gone. There are some lenders have them.
Yeah.
I understand, but it's not done yet. I understand there will be another 10,000 on July the 1st, but
right.
Circumstances have changed since the government announced that, shall we say, and we'll have to see whether they come through with it. But I suspect they will, because it's been wildly successful for them.
Right.
Yeah. So right now I've got a few lenders who've got the left, particularly, the big ones tend to have gone. Some people have applied for it. I mean, how the scheme works is you actually put your name down, you lodge your interest, and you're allocated a spot, and you've got, I think it's up to 30 days to then go and get the deal done, right? And if you don't, then it falls off. So while some people registered, they were unable to get there. So there were constantly these numbers coming available, but people couldn't quite get there, right?
Okay.
But I know, one of the funders had 11 spots left the other day. One of the guys told me another, my state down in Tasmania has a couple of hundred of them left, I'm told. So it's a matter of which lender has them until the 30th of June, right? We'll see what happens then.
Sure. And again, stamp duty as well, up to $600,000, it will be the zero stamp duty for the first home buyers. Is that right?
Sure. Okay, so first, the Victorian government has a stamp duty concession slash exemption slash exemption. Got that right, haven't I? You've got the exemption is for properties up to $600,000. So first home buyers buying a new property or they're building a property, then it's never been lived in by somebody else, so they can buy an existing one. If it's never been lived in by anyone, so an investor has bought it, for instance, and they just rented it and never lived in it.
Right.
Then for the owner, the new first home buyer, that would be classified as a new home.
Okay.
And that's up to $600,000. They pay no stamp duty.
Okay.
And again, on a $600,000 purchase, that's probably worth $30,000. 5%.
For sure.
There is a concession for properties up to $750,000. So if you buy a property for $620,000, $630,000, $670,000, you will have a concession of 50% of the stamp duty, not 100% as under. So it's still an opportunity to save money there. And again, you've got to be, you've got to qualify for what the test is, the first homeowners grant, and again, to that being an Australian citizen or resident, etc.
Right. And on top of all that, there's a $10,000 grant for the first home buyers.
On top of all that, there's a $10 or maybe even $20,000 grants about where you're going to. It's $10,000 in Melbourne metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Where again, if you are buying a new home or building a new home, then you can qualify for that $10,000 grant. That $10,000 can go towards the purchase, it can go towards the building, you can have it afterwards and use it to finish a new home, whatever it is the way that you want to use it. But so if you add all those up together, that's a fairly serious amount of money we're talking about. On a $500,000 to $600,000, we're talking, $50,000 plus.
Yes.
Then if you or I tried to buy the same home, we wouldn't get that, right? It would cost us, using 5% deposits. If you and I wanted to do it, Navin, then it would cost us $50,000 more than the first home buyer. So that opportunity is there right now for first home buyers to step into the market with, on a $500,000 mortgage per property, we're talking about $25,000 of what they call genuine savings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, everyone is yapping about the COVID-19, but then again, if you're ready to go with your finances, there's a time to get in, and there's really good deals out there. House and land packages from all over the suburbs in the north, south, or west, starting from about $450,000. So
absolutely, that is definitely
great
the
opportunity.
This fits into definitely, yeah.
All right, thanks very much, David. So please feel free to get in touch with us. David's contact information as well as our contact information is given below, and you can get in touch with us, and we are more than happy to help you out.
Indeed. Thanks for the opportunity today.